Let me see, I think we are live. I know we're live on Facebook and as well as Instagram. So we're going to give people just a few more minutes to join us. Hey, Jess, my faithful few. Come on in, girl. So we will wait just a few more minutes. I know. I get started on time because, hey, time is money and people got shit to do. And if you ain't here to catch it all, then oh well, because we going to start on time and do everything we need to do. Because usually there's so much stuff to cover that I hate, feeling kind of rushed through stuff. So that's why I like to start on time. Ta-da. So anyway, so welcome to Sybarite Sunday Live. I haven't said on time about our definition of a Sybarite. And this is a little different from someone who is hedonistic. So Sybarite is a word that invokes sensuality, luxury, and eroticism kind of all tied together. And the difference between that and hedonism, which is again all about pleasure, is that a Sybarite kind of has this innate characteristic about themselves, like they couldn't help but be sensual and want those things. Whereas someone who is hedonistic tends to be able to turn it on and off. So that's the difference. So that's the word Sybarite. And I'm a reporter, and I'm the face of my brand, Oh Yeah, right there. And we talk, have sex talk on Sunday and get nasty and naughty. And I read erotic poetry and erotic short stories. So I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. As I always say, I'm so appreciative of anybody that tunes in. I know you have a ton of things you could be doing. So I thank you from the bottom of my toes for taking some time out and spending. So thank you. So today, Sybarites, we are talking about erogenous zones. Woo! My Lord, the erogenous zones. I tell you, the only reason, not the only reason, but the reason I'm so excited about that is because it is such a lost art. I say this all the time that the new generation, and sometimes some of you old folks too, still try to just jump into bed, no real foreplay, no seduction, no sexuality, and you just want to get right to it. You know, you live by that 50 Cent motto. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So if that is your motto, if that's what you live, boo, turn me off, because I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking to you. God bless you, do your thing, but that ain't for me. Particularly women of a certain age. We do not want to just jump in the bed. We want some, and not just foreplay. It's not just, I don't even know how to describe it. Sensuality and seduction is all part of foreplay. That's what I'm trying to say. So as women of an age, we want all of that. We do. So again, if you live by the 50 Cent motto, you into having sex and not into making love, then boo, God bless you, but please move on, because that's not what we're talking about today. So today we're talking about the erogenous zone, and it's really how to not only have good foreplay, but you can reach orgasm without ever touching your genitals. Like you not putting your hand or your lips or your mouth down on her, and you're not touching his dick. I mean, you can get all of that just by touching. And so I have to stop here and say, I say this quite a bit, men, this is why we say you should not be afraid of your woman using toys in the bedroom, a dildo, any of those things, because it doesn't replace you. It doesn't replace the stuff I'm going to talk about today. A dildo ain't going to do none of that shit. A dildo is not going to lick down my neck, rub my palm. A dildo ain't going to do none of that. lighten up, bro, because she can enjoy those things, but it never, ever, ever will replace the man. I'm sorry. So, yeah. So anyway, I want to talk about the erogenous zones, and I've got some poems and stuff I'm going to read. But first of all, just so you're clear, it's any area that extends to the region or part of your body that is sexually stimulating. Okay, so if it will cause arousal, if it will cause stimulation, be it your breast, your ass, your feet, your toes, whatever, then that's part of an erogenous zone. And I think that sometimes guys will rush to the main course, like they rush right to your clit, and they miss all of these other erogenous zones that are available to be touched and stroked and all of that. So I want to kind of talk about some of those today. Aren't you excited? I'm excited because let me tell you something. Baby, I had the best. I'm not even going to call his name, but I'm going to give you his initials. DH in Puerto Rico. You know who I'm talking about. Lord have mercy. That man should have taught a class on how to use all these erogenous zones in your ear and neck and all that area because, whoo, child. But anyway, I digress. So let's talk about erogenous zones. Now, I know everybody knows about your lips, but it goes beyond just kissing because you can trace your lover's lips with your tongue. You can suck his top lip or bottom lip. All those things are sensual and very erotic. And those lips are full of nerves. The other place is your ears. Now, you know, I say this all the time. You better be with somebody that got some good hygiene because I ain't sticking my tongue in your ear, boo, if it's full of wax and dirt and shit. Come on now. But if you not only stick your tongue in their ear, but just suck on their earlobes and run your tongue around that outside. Oh, child, that is so erotic. Now, the other thing to that is you need to maybe do some exploration. And I say this all the time, that we lack communication when it comes to sex. Like, we can talk about every fucking thing else, the weather, sports, even politics, religion, but we seem to be deaf mutes when it comes to talking about sex. So ask your lover, do you like being licked and touched on your ear? Is that a place that turns you on? Because here's the thing, if it's not, then let that go. Because you don't want to be spending time running around in his ear and shit, and he don't like it. So stop it. So ask. Let's use some communication. And the other place is fingers. Now, obviously, your fingers have a lot of nerves because that's how we're able to sense and touch and feel even the slightest variation in textures and softness and that kind of thing. But putting his index finger or his thumb in your mouth and sucking on that slowly, baby, that is sexy as hell. And it is usually, for most guys, a turn on. Part of it, I think, is because it sort of emulates oral sex. Because if you're sucking on his thumb, that's kind of like an indication of sucking on his dick. So I think that's another reason why it's such a big turn on. Let's see. So the other thing is the neck. So now apparently there's a muscle that runs like from the earlobe down to the collarbone. Oops, I want to get away from my mic. Down to the collarbone. This area right here is so full of nerves. And you're missing out if you're not honing in on that during foreplay. It is probably one of the most sensual things a man can do. I'm telling you. I go back to DH, honey, in that Puerto Rico trip. Lord have mercy. All of this area, all up in here. Even gently biting her in this area where the neck and shoulder come together. I said biting softly. You can't go in there digging for gold and, crunching down and doing all that stuff. But any of those areas in here where you touch lightly, even, you know what? Even just your fingertips will do it. Oh yeah, that'll do it for sure. It's almost like if you use your tongue and lips correctly, this shit right here is like French kiss in the neck, honey. Woo! Yes. Okay. And so then the V zone, ladies, there's the V zone. And we see it when a guy is, especially if he's got a six pack, and that's where his hip bone goes right down to his penis area. So, that V zone. But instead of just rushing and sucking his dick, we need to stop and use all of that area, all of that V zone area, to taste him and lick him and play soft kisses. Now, as I said, I'm talking about the average guy. So you need to check in frequently, girl. Check in with your man to make sure that he is enjoying what you're doing, because every guy is different. So what works for one may not work for another. But that V zone, that whole little area there between his hip bone going down towards his pubic hair and penis, whoo, child. Yes, ma'am, that will do it. So anyway, we're going to come back to some more, a list of these erogenous zones, but I want to stop and read some poems. It was kind of hard this week to really find poems that zone in on the erogenous zone, because most of them start with section and sensuality, but they lead to either sucking his dick or you eating her pussy or whatever. So I was trying to find things that just honed in on the erogenous zones and just because that's where we are today. So, but I found some that were fairly good. So I'm going to read this to you. So this one is called The Erogenous Zone by Cherie Lay. Once again, I always want to make sure I give credit to the poets and writers and authors that I read, because this is not my stuff. And so this is by Cherie Lay. It's called The Erogenous Zone. Be prepared. Dare be aware. But do not come alone. You are about to enter the erogenous zone. A sensitive playground where my body quivers, aroused, pining for pleasures only you can deliver. My neck demands the respect of your lips and your tongue. My hands take grip upon your well-hung loaded gun, aiming to shoot, free from its restrictive holsters. My hard-hitting man rocks with sexual boasters. Kiss me, breast cups in the pleasure dome of your hands, press in deeper with rhythmic strums from your stiff head's band. That's it, harder still, stir me up good with your whirlpool strides. Surge with waves, misbehave, rush the roller coaster ride. Writhing in great pleasure from my adventuresome view. Your prowess in sensual touch peaks in orgasmic hue. Goosebumps form as I scream, oh yeah, baby, give me all you got. Neon flashing eyes speak, oh yes, release your hot shot. As you stay inside, lingering pulses dare still come. Our heartbeats synchronize in a love's desirous drum. I crave the way your affections stay in tender hold, gently connected as one after making love quite so bold. Enticed again, I reel for sexual instigation. I cannot get enough of your sensual stimulation. My ideal lover, you are perpetually my pumice stone. Sensitive to your touch, oh baby, I welcome you to my erogenous zone. Is that not hot? That was Erogenous Zone by Cherie Lay. Let me tell you, we talked about this, and I can't remember which episode it was a while back, but we talked about reading to your lover. Get in the bathtub, break out some erotic poetry, and read. Now, I told you this don't work if Boo is illiterate and he doesn't have good reading skills. But shit, if that's the case, then you read. Sis, you read to him. But this is the kind of stuff that will lay the foundation for good sex. I keep saying that, these are different times. They just are. And unless you have a live-in lover, unless you're married, or a boyfriend that you guys are monogamous and exclusive, you are shit out of luck right now for sexual pleasure. So maybe you can read this kind of stuff to each other over the phone, since we can't be together because, social distancing and stuff. Read him over the phone, honey. Read him some stuff. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So let me read one more. Now, this is by Zephys. It's called Making Love, and it's Zephis, Zephys. And let's see. Yeah, I should be able to get through this one. Okay, it's called Making Love. Your face glows like 1,000 sun. Your lips feel like a cloud, so soft. Your tongue tastes like it's well done. Your ears listen to everything that sounds. Your hair smells, has beautiful scents. Your eyes captivates me every time. Your voice makes me content. Your kiss makes me want to stay till I die. Your neck tastes delighted. Your breasts are so divine. Your nipples become so excited when I suck on them every time. As I caress them, you will feel the truth. When I lick them, your moans start to rhyme. When I softly bite them, I'll have turned on cue. But nothing compared when I am at your spine. Kissing your stomach has you feeling good. Sucking your fingers makes you wonder. Kissing your thighs makes you quiver like it should. Licking your spine from bottom makes you moan. Sucking the pathway of your spine makes you vibrate. Touching the pinnacle of your spine makes you do both. Sucking the back spot of your neck makes you shake. Doing both at the same time makes you lose your thought. Tracing my name inside makes you feel you're on a jet. Playing with your pussy has you saying my name. Rubbing your G-spot has you calling me in another language. Putting pressure on that spot has you moaning with no shame. The look on your face makes me think you're ready for the next challenge. Sucking and licking and makes you scream, but does not prepare you for what's next. Put my face closer to suck your clit, as I put my tongue out to lick your lips and let my fingers play in that hole. As I do all three at the same time, I fulfill my role. I make your body go different directions. I make your mind melt down. I make intelligence experience correction. I make your spirit feel like it's floating around town. I make you experience come with pleasure. I make you feel that you're in love. I make you feel like you are treasured. But in your speechless state, you're just feeling all of the love. Yeah. Whew. Okay, that was Making Love Zephys. Really, really cool. And I love that he kind of honed in on woman's spine, and I kind of want to go there and talk about that for a minute because I didn't even know this. I found this out. Okay, so there's something called the sacral nerves, Sacral, sacral nerves, and they're a cluster of nerves that are a cluster of nerves that are at the small of a woman's back. And believe it or not, according to science, these nerves are connected straight to your vagina. In other words, when you touch that area, she feels from there. I didn't even know that. I'm like, what? I wonder I like that so much. So they're called, again, the sacral nerve, and they're a cluster of nerves that they say they're directly linked to the vagina, but I believe, and ladies, you might want to try this out, do an experiment, this is your homework. See if they really arouse him. So like if you have him lay on his stomach and you tongue that whole area, like right at the base of his spine, at the top of his ass, girl, see what that do. See what that do. See if it's connected to his penis the way it's connected to our vagina. That would be to know. Okay, so we talked about the V zone. Now we talked about this spine area that is erogenous and sexual and able to really turn us on. Obviously, nipples. Now, for women, some women, they enjoy it, but some women really enjoy it. And when I tell you nipple orgasms are real, trust me, let me raise my hand. If you can work these babies, you can take me there. We don't even have to have sex. That's how sensitive nipples are. Now, with guys, it's a little different because I go thinking, well, hell, I like it. I enjoy it. I can get off with you just sucking my nipples. And you go into it with that mindset. He's like, So you always, again, have to go back to communicating. You have to ask. We need to stop jumping in bed with each other without asking. Damn. We don't even know what turns us on, let alone your partner. But so let's ask. Let's spend the time asking. So anyway, but the nipple area obviously is very sensitive for women and such a turn on. Now the other thing is the scalp. I know that sounds kind of weird, but there are so many nerve endings in the scalp, and apparently when someone gives you a head massage or washes your hair, it releases the hormone oxytocin, which is why I think women love going to the salon and getting their hair washed. Bruh, listen to me. Wash her hair. That whole just in the scalp and the warm water, as sensual as fuck. It is such a turn on. Wash her hair. Now, depending on what kind of hair she rocking, be careful. If she's got a wig, don't be running to the shower trying to wash her hair. But if she's got natural hair, go for it. Even if she has braids or dreads, because you can tie them up where you can just touch the scalp without wrecking her braids or her hairstyle or whatever. But that is another area, another erogenous zone that we're missing. So go get you some shampoo and wash Sister Girl's hair. Or rub his head. Most guys like that. Rub his head, especially if he's got a bald head. Girl, you are missing out. There's so many nerves up there. And so another area is kind of behind the knees. Now, again, I don't know if that works well for men as much as it does for women. But just touching those areas behind her knees, either with kisses, with licking that area, is all really, really good. So try that. So I want to read another poem. Let's see. This one is called, I like them. This is called The Power of the Tongue. And it's written by Mr. Mahogany Wood. Mr. Mahogany Wood. And it's called The Power of the Tongue. He says, tongue, lips locked in a deep, soulful kiss from my mouth to yours, feeling the electricity at the tips of our tongues, exploring the length of your neck, feeling your very sensual moaning as my hands caress, fingers twisting, those long curly tresses, tasting you, feeling you with my tongue, wet and warm, leaving a lustful trail slowly down your chest, lingering between the cleft of your large, ample breasts. Your hard brown nipples so damn erect between my lips, sucking, pulling, playing with them under your dress. At the mercy of my tongue, your body begins to burn. As my mouth begins to trend down south, slowly unzipping your jeans, unfastening your belt, loosening the solitary button, an untamed heat is felt as I lick your kitty, right there with my tongue. Me, Swahila, she's coming undone. As her hips begin to swirl, her bitch's brew begins to boil like hot, wet latte. Body deeply bent at her waist, legs flung high in the air, pussy spread and wet. All up in my face. Taste you with my tongue. Why did you even attempt to tell me to leave you alone, hun? With every erogenous zone, hot and hard, tingling like a virgin, touch for the very first time, at the mercy of my tongue. Yes, Mr. Mahogany Wood. Yes, we like that, the power of the tongue. Yes, we do. Yeah, that was some good stuff. So let's go back and finish up a couple more of these erogenous zones. So we talked about the scalp, we talked about behind the knees, and we also, there's the inner thigh. Again, those are areas that can be stroked and touched without touching your genitalia and will peak sexual arousal. So if you're doing foreplay with just kissing a woman or going straight down and putting your hand down between her legs and thinking that's the extent of foreplay, you are really missing the mark, bro. There are so many other areas of our bodies that are a turn on that you're missing. And I'll stress once again, but you have to communicate. You have to ask what feels good, what doesn't, what, that kind of thing. So another area that is kind of, people struggle with this one, and that's toes. Now, I know some suck toes, some don't. Okay, I get it. But let me just say, the first time someone attempted to suck my toes, I was really like, oh, no, are we putting my foot in your mouth? No. But baby, let me tell you, he started kissing my toes and using his tongue, and I was like, where have I been? Because, that shit was so sensual and so seductive. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. So before you say no to that, just know that that's another area. And maybe, here's the thing. We're not saying you got to put her whole foot in your mouth, or his mouth, ladies, for that matter. Maybe you just start with the big toe. Maybe it's just one toe you start with. The other piece to this is just like I was talking about last week about if you come or spit. This isn't. This is something that you have to be with someone you trust and someone that has good hygiene. Bro, you cannot come in off the street or you've been working all day in your shoes and jump in the bed and think I'm gonna suck your toes. Not happening. You need a good old shower and a foot scrub. But here's the thing, that's something you guys can do together, right? That's something you can do together. And same thing with her. And ladies, that's why you need to keep a pedicure. I'm not even saying, because I struggle with guys that talk about if you don't have pretty toes, I can't be with you. My nephew was like that. I'm like, whatever. Because what does that have to do with who I am as a woman and my sensuality and sexuality? But I respect everybody's preference. The point is, at least do a pedicure, sis. Even if you don't have pretty toes, keep your toes up, because that might lead you to get some toe action. I'm going to say this, Brooklyn from Gray House. I went to her annual members only sex party last year. Thank you very much for the invitation. And I had a brother walk up. He knows who he is if he ever sees this. And just took my shoe off. And while he wasn't necessarily kissing my toes, he just began to rub my feet. Lord have mercy. Whew, I didn't even want to get off the couch. So anyway, the feet are another area that you can use as part of your erogenous zones, because it's full of erotic stuff, full of it. The other thing that I think is really overlooked and neglected, and that is your palm and your wrists. For women, I don't know about men so much, but for women, a guy that softly strokes my palm, does that, or my wrist, whoo, baby, especially if he's talking to me. And you know, I'm a big proponent of men, your voice. Please use your voice. That's one of the sexiest things you have besides your penis. Use your voice. Because if you can get in my ear, for most women, that's where sex begins. That's where arousal begins, especially if you are teasing me and telling me what you want to do and how to do it. That shit is, and then if you are stroking my palm while in my ear, whew, that's almost instant orgasm. That's almost instant orgasm. So don't forget that, guys. That is an area that you could spend some time kissing and licking and just stroking with a soft touch. And the other thing to do, don't forget, particularly with erogenous zones, are props and tools that you can use, like ice cubes and feathers, and even things like, and I know this sounds weird, but even things like, let's out to the park or whatever, sand on the inside of her palm and just rubbing that. Very sensual, very, very sensual. So yeah, don't be afraid to bring out all these props and things. Go get you some ice cubes, get you some lotion. Invest in some good massage oils. Hello, please. Leave that baby oil alone. That shit dries up, and that's not what we want. Especially, we don't want it in our vagina area. We really don't. So go get you some good, invest in some good massage oils, and especially a good lube. And we talked about this a couple of episodes ago. If you're going to be fingering me, if you're going to be sticking your hand inside my vagina and stuff, you better have some good lube, and you better have some short, clean fingernails. So it goes back to hygiene. Hygiene is everything. So, I talked about the voice, that it is an integral part of foreplay. It's an integral part of turning a woman on. Guys, use your voice. There's nothing better than a man's sexy voice. Leave me a sexy voicemail. Leave me a sexy, call me and just tell me what you think about doing to me. That goes a long way. So now, I haven't tried this, but I hear there is an area for men, and it's the perineum, and it's between scrotum and the anus, your ass. So between where the ass is and balls hang, there's a little area there that I'm told, according to research, that guys are drawn by that if you can rub and massage that area. So homework, ladies, go find this perineum. It's the perineum. It's the perineum area between the scrotum and his ass, that if you kind of work that little area, it's supposed to be very erotic, very sensual. Home, find out if that's true, and then hit me up. I did. I found it, and it's true. It's true. But once again, goes back to communication. Don't be digging down there if you don't know for sure that's what I likes. It's time to start having these conversations about likes and dislikes. It's time to have conversations about what turns us on, particularly women. Um, I think a lot of times, and I say this, women are sometimes we let our orgasm or what turns us on go, it sinks to the bottom of priority. Like we don't have a priority for our own pleasure. We are afraid to ask. We're afraid to instruct a lover to say, I like this, I like that, or I don't like this. And so, ladies, we have to take more responsibility for our own pleasure. If you like something, let a brother know. And if you don't, let a brother know. If there are things you will do or not do in the room, then you need to speak up, because laying there faking orgasms, girl, is so, 1999. Who is doing that? Come on. Life is too short to be faking orgasms. And I'll say that again for women. Life is too short to be faking orgasms. If you're not going to put time and effort into your order, then shame on you. That's all I can say. And it ain't on him, it's on you. So, okay, so I want to read some more. I want to read another. Well, this one is long. Well, no, wait a minute. Oh, I'm trying to choose between these two. Okay, I think I'm going to read this one because it's a little shorter. But this is called Tongue and Body Meet by Logan's Erotica. Logan's Logan's Erotica wrote Tongue and Body Meet. Whipped cream pills, what a sight. Indulging pleasure, what a delight. Up your thighs and to your chest. When it comes to pleasure, do it best. Each nipple covered with straw top. You hear her begin to moan, so you don't dare stop. A trail so sweet leads down to below. Savor the flavor, so take your time and keep it slow. The feel of soft skin as your tongue does taste, pausing frequently to so no wait. Your navel is so soft as my tongue explores around. We're getting lost in the moment and soon we'll leave the ground. The pleasure heightens as our hearts begin to race. This is pure delight and such a lovely place. Chills run up your spine as my fingers trace your thighs. You cannot contain the joy, so let out your sexy sighs. The firmness of the tongue as it presses in your lips causes your muscles to flex and lift your amazing hips. Brushing up against your clit as the fruit lifted out, the texture of a tongue causes a joyful shout. You beg for more of it as your desire it to explore. Around your clit and lips, you simply just want more. The flavor of your kisses mixed with berries and cream causes the tongue to move faster as you begin to scream. Fingers now press between your lips. You know you cannot laugh louder as your desire to be fucked really fast. You cannot help but touch erect nipples on your breasts. The pleasure peaks as I can see by your rapid moving chest. Tilting back your head as you bite down on your lip, your body shaking as in its orgasmic trip. Your lips so swollen and your pussy is so wet. The feel of that firm tongue as the last drops it does get. Now your body relaxes as it comes back to the ground. Your breathing begins to ease up as you cannot make a sound. The feeling of your body as it rests so peacefully in bed. Visions of pleasure experience occupy your head. It was a wonderful time it shared when a tongue and body meet. Strawberries and whipped cream make it all the more a treat. Don't you love that? I do. That was Tongue and Body Meet by Logan's Erotica. Yes, 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 yes. So erogenous zones. Don't, like I said, don't waste your time together. I mean, and I think women, we need to own more of our pleasures. Start to ask for one. Know what turns you on. Ask your man what he wants. Don't just jump in the bed, y'all. Don't follow the 50 Cent motto. You know, I'm into having sex. I ain't into making love. Come on now. We are so beyond that. We are not 16-year-olds. So anyway, that was today's lesson. That was today's session on erotic zones. I hope everybody takes advantage of those and do your thing. And ladies, I gave y'all some homework, so write me back and let me know what works. I'm especially interested in this perineum, that zone. Let me know how that works out. If you have a chance to be with a lover this week. As I said, I know it's hard, because we on lockdown. Oh Lord. I know one thing, when this is all lifted and we're able to be with each other again, just kind of openly without, mask and sanitizer and, social distancing, some of us are going to be off the chain. Some of us are going to be off the chain. So I so love and thank you for joining me today. Like I said, I know you can be doing 1,000 other things, but thank you for joining me for Sybarite Sunday. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll leave this way: if offended, then just say so in all of it. And naughty things make for the best dreams. So love your lover, but stay in your place. Stay home and practice your I'm about to come face. I love you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.